welcome to another episode of Nerds with Badges. Today is August 28th, and I am suffering from the flu. I think it's going away. Last couple of days have been really crazy, man. Yesterday, I had the chills. I was sweating like crazy. Still have a headache. I've been taking NyQuil. It's not NyQuil. It's Tylenol, cold and flu severe. They give you the daytime and the nighttime. They don't really give you a lot of the nighttime. I don't know why. They give you like 8 of the nighttime, and then they give you 16 of the day. So, but at least I have something that can help me sleep at night. I ended up getting a fan because it's gotten really hot over here in LA the last couple of weeks. But I don't know, the last few days it's really weird. It seems like right after I got the fan, the temperature just kind of dropped. But I think yesterday was like the first day in a long time that I actually did not play a video game, because I just couldn't even I don't know, it just seems like I was just so irritable. I called off for work. I'm out of sick days, so there's that. But when you are out of your sick days, what happens is that you end up using your personal or your vacation days. So I have some time coming up in October that I'm going to be off, so hopefully I don't take up too much of that. So yeah, I don't know. I think I caught this from a coworker, because when you work in a situation where you're at a desk and then you get up and you go on patrol and someone else comes at the desk, and then it just keeps on. It's people cough and sneeze, and a lot of people don't really know etiquette. I mean, I'm just saying it. People just sneeze and cough everywhere. When there's nobody around, people don't care. They sneeze on the keyboard, and then you touch it, and even equipment. We use radios, and we use phones to do our patrols, to scan QRC codes for our when we do our DTEX patrols. And other people handle that stuff, and 9 times out of 10 nobody cleans it. Only one officer I know, maybe 2, sometimes this guy does it, but it's usually a lady. She usually sanitizes everything, and she wears rubber gloves, and I don't think I've ever seen her sick in the many years that I've worked with her. But yeah, man, I mean, it's really rough when you work around people that are sick, that are that don't really know the proper etiquette. But I've noticed a lot, over the last 10 or 15 years, a lot of people sneeze and cough, and they don't really, they still use their hands, or they just, blah, 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 walking down the street. But a lot of people, I don't know, when I was growing up, we had TV shows, like commercials really, that would talk about the proper way to sneeze, and, the Dracula cough or whatever, using your elbow to cough, as opposed to just using your hands and then touching a doorknob or touching whatever, and then other people come behind you and touch it. So even when you leave stuff around, like you leave something on a table and someone comes in there and they sneeze and they cough, and you touch that, and most people don't think about this stuff. I do. So it's just something to be mindful of when you are at a workplace. Because you can carry around a can of Lysol, carry you some of those disinfectant wipes, but you have to be mindful of the fact that most other people, just like a lot of people, don't really drive defensively. I don't drive myself, but I notice a lot of people might not have the best, don't really look out for, I just see like people making careless mistakes when they drive, or so I think that I miss when we had commercials and TV shows that would teach people things, even cartoons that had morals. We don't really have that anymore, because anything goes now. But anyway, rant over. I'm just here at home. I have a doctor's appointment today. I had an injury at my job a few months ago, so I'm supposed to go to see my doctor today, but I'm probably not going to go because I don't want to get anyone else sick. So you're supposed to not go to appointments when you are sick anyway. They have you fill out questionnaires now. Most of the time, before I even go to an appointment, I got to fill out a form saying if I had these symptoms or if I had if I had COVID recently or something. I mean, it's so crazy. And then sometimes when you sit down in the waiting room, you got to sit like a chair space away from the other person. I remember when COVID was really big. I mean, well, it's still actually the cases are supposed to be getting worse here in LA. That's what I've heard. But when it was really, really big, you would go to a doctor's appointment and you couldn't even wait in the waiting room. You had to actually wait outside, like, or in your car until they just like paged you. The world is just changing so much. And we had like more shootings. That's something I know. It's the ugly reality that we have to live in. It's just really something that these types of news stories are so common. It's become almost the new normal. So as far as video games go, this has really been, I don't know, it's been really crazy. There's a lot of video games coming out, man. It's so hard to keep track of everything. And there's some video games coming out later. I think that I'm going to have to start waiting on sales because these games are expensive. They are expensive. You're talking like $69.99 for most of the games, unless it's an indie game. So it's just really difficult trying to keep up, especially when a bunch of games come out at one time that you like, and when you game on multiple platforms like I do, which is, it's a double-edged sword. You get to play all the games because you have all the systems, but at the same time it can be overwhelming trying to keep up with everything. I barely have enough time to set aside an hour, maybe an hour and a half a day to play video games at home because I have other obligations, other things I got to give my time to. But I try to at least do an hour of games. But a lot of the games that have like open world, big epic quests, some of those games can take a long time. I mean, it literally took me years to beat Callisto Protocol. It took me probably about a year to beat The Dark Pictures, The Devil in Me. What else have I beaten recently? I think those are the most ruthless. I gotta wake up. The most recent games that I've beaten was The Devil in Me and the Callisto Protocol. I think I'm close to the end of Evil West. And interestingly enough, I was playing that game the other night, and there's a level that I'm stuck on. It's these these vampires just swarm you, man. But they're regular vampires, and then there's these hulking vampires with these like shields with spikes on them. And I'm just so gracious. The game glitched when I was playing, and one of the big hulking vampires that usually kills me was stuck somewhere in the background. He literally couldn't move. Jesus. I think it's time for another one of those cough drops. But anyway, like I said, it was crazy. The vampire, the big vampire, because there's two of them that usually attack you at one time, and one was just stuck and he couldn't move. He literally was just stuck there. So after I killed the big boss and took care of the one big hulking one, because the little vampires that are attacking were not really that much of a problem, I just went over in the corner and just kept shooting the one that was stuck. And I'm telling you, I didn't think I was going to get past that level. I think sometimes, man, I've heard that games scale up in difficulty the further you get along in it, but man, I think they need to chill with some of these boss battles because he's literally throwing everything at you, man, and it's just like it's just so crazy. And there's so much going on screen. Sometimes you can't even see what's going on. Anyway, I was trying to watch this movie this morning on my TLC smart TV that I have, and it was Tony Jaa. He's a martial artist. I love this guy. I mean, the very first movie I saw with him, I think it was Ong Bak. This guy does his own stunts, and I don't think he really gives the props that he deserves. But anyway, the movie is called Striking Rescue, and of course, it's revenge. Somebody kills his family or something, and he's out to get revenge. And I was about maybe 3 minutes in, and all of a sudden, my TV switched to Netflix, and I switched it back to Plex, which is where I was watching it. Otherwise, you gotta pay. It's like $5 to rent or $12 to buy, unless you use Plex. I thought it was interesting that they have those options there. You have Plex, where you can watch it for free. But anyway, it kept going to Netflix. Every time I would switch it back to Plex, it would switch back to Netflix. So apparently someone in my building or someone close by is able to, like, because I went and did a little Google research. People can actually get into your system through the Bluetooth, because I've had incidences before where I've tried to, like, turn on a device and I got a message saying, do I want to connect to some smart TV or some smart device somewhere nearby? I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Why would I want to, like, connect to somebody else's TV? So I don't know, that was just really weird. So what I had to do was I turned off my Bluetooth, and then I waited a few minutes, and then I turned it back on, and problem solved. But I think that's crazy. And that's the downside to Bluetooth technology, because you could be listening to music and somebody else with Bluetooth headphones can be listening to your music. Technology is wonderful, but you always have some people that will use these things in a wrong way. Now, a lot of the Xbox has been getting a lot of publicity recently. Well, the Xbox Ally X, or whatever they're going to call it, it's a handheld that is essentially an Xbox merged with the PC handheld console. I think it's probably gonna be like $800-900. I'm not gonna get it. I mean, I don't really have a need to. I already have an Asus ROG Ally. I have an MSI Claw. I have a Lenovo Legion Go. I have a Steam Deck, and I also have a Switch 2. And I have this here on my original Switch. So the handheld PCs that I have can pretty much do everything that the Xbox Ally X can do. I don't know how you're really benefiting from that. I don't know that you can play the games that you own. I think it's your Xbox games that you own, if they are available on the Play Anywhere, then you can play them natively. But like all my games that I have on my Xbox that I bought over the years, I don't have access to them on this thing. Which is just kind of weird. I don't know. It's a niche market, I guess. You want to pay $900 for a portable, almost Xbox that lets you play PC games. I mean, the form factor is cool. They got 2 colors. I don't know why we never really seem to get more than black and white, man. I mean, we get it has the RGB lights on it, which is nice. And I guess you can turn those off if you need to, or turn them down. It does take battery life, and I think that's why some of the consoles don't have that. But it's nice if you want it. Yeah, the price is just, there are 2 models. There's a lower end model, and then there's a higher end model. But like I said, I already have a ROG Ally, I have a MSI Claw, and I have a Lenovo Legion Go. And the Steam Deck, although not quite as versatile as a Windows device, although that is debatable. And the Switch 2 is, you're limited to Nintendo's ecosystem unless you know, do some messing around with it. But I've never hacked any of my devices. I had someone jailbreak my Logitech G Cloud for me. They actually put some games up there, and I have two PlayStation Vitas. One, I had someone jailbreak and put a bunch of stuff on it for me, and then I have another one that I just use for like regular stuff, because the one that's hacked, I don't connect to the internet with, because when you connect to the internet, your account can get banned and all that if you have a hacked system. I mean, it is something, that companies can do that to a product that you bought. As far as breaking anyway, banning your account. What about all the games that you bought? And I think that they're going to be some new laws. They're going to have to be implemented in the future for all this stuff. I mean, it's still relatively new, online gaming. I think it's probably maybe like 20 years of online gaming, because when the original Xbox came out, it was a big deal that you could go online and play against other people, but there wasn't no web browser. It was still kind of limited. When the Xbox 360 came around and the PlayStation 3 was really copying everything that Xbox was doing, and then Nintendo quietly, sort of kind of got it. I mean, because they're still behind. Nintendo's still kind of behind when it comes to online. But I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they are just really trying to be safe for children. Because when you go online, man, I was playing Marvel Rivals last week, it was, and man, the entire match I had to listen to this guy just yelling and cursing and just obnoxious, like he was chewing, and I just didn't really even know how to mute this person. I had to listen to that through the whole match. I was so glad when the match was over, because you can't really just leave a match in the middle because you can get penalized. But that was just so annoying. And I guess, I don't know, these people exist, man. I guess we always have to deal with assholes, unfortunately. They're just some people that will just do whatever the hell that they want just because they can, even though it's just evil. That's what it is. It's evil. Unless you're just mentally ill. But anyway, mentally ill, that's a whole nother discussion. There's some people, like the Joker said, they just want to see the world burn. I think it was Joker said that. Some people just do bad things because they get off of it. Some people don't really have a sense of right or wrong, I think. And some people, they do things because they might have an imbalance, a chemical imbalance. I'm not saying that all people that have these things are bad, because some people that have conditions are able to function perfectly well in society and have families and everything. But you have some that are just terrible. And you have to interact with these people online now because it's so accessible now. Before, it wasn't like psychos could just get on the internet and just say whatever and just spread venom, whether they do it by posting crazy stuff, trolling people, it's crazy, man, that people put their energy into some of these things. But like I said, some people have chemical imbalances when they do these things. And I don't know, evil has always been something to me that's been, kind of difficult. When you distinguish, people do bad things for all types of reasons, and if someone doesn't know any better, or if they have a condition, does that make them evil? And I like to believe myself that most people can probably be, but I like to believe that people can change. Will they change? Like Matthew Broderick, somebody, I think it was in one of those Godzilla movies. Godzilla think it was Godzilla that came out in 1999 or 2000. Was it no 98 when the girl said some people change, and Matthew Broderick was like, yeah, but most people don't. I think sometimes terrible people can become good people, and sometimes really good people can become terrible people. Sometimes that happens. This is going to be a little controversial statement maybe, but there were a lot more institutions, I think, years ago, and programs to help people, and now it feels like, for whatever reason, there are a lot of these people running around in the streets not really getting the treatment. Some people that have issues are not getting the treatment or therapy, and therapy's become a really big thing now. It was before, it was kind of like taboo and people didn't like to talk about going to see someone to talk to, but these are things that I think it definitely needs to get more attention. I'm not for just drugging people out of their minds, I don't think that that's really a solution. I think that maybe in another 20, 50 years, there's going to be a lot of breakthroughs made in science that can help people, because people say that some wires are not connected or whatever. I mean, it's kind of a joke, but it could be something simple like that, I think, because some chemicals are not working right like they're supposed to. There's just something genetic that's off, and maybe we can help people. I mean, we can give people artificial arms and legs and organs, and there's a lot of advances have been made in science, and a lot of the things that we have to worry about now, in the future, the next generation, they're not really going to have to think about. It's not going to be an issue. Cancer will probably go away at some point. I think so. Dementia will go away at some point. It'll just be, somebody will come up with a cure for it. So the next generation, man, I mean, it's going to be wonderful, but they will probably have to deal with some other crazy stuff that we didn't have to deal with, so there's that. Anyway, I really meant to make a short video, and I'm talking way more than I should. I'm going to probably lay back down and just chill, try to keep myself hydrated, stay home, and should be able to go back to work on Saturday. I have a short work week. Next week we have Labor Day coming up, so I have Monday off. Last week I did shoot a Nerds with Badges episode, and I actually hired a camera guy to come out, and I'm introducing my co-host that I met at I think it was Gamescom. Was it Gamescom that I went to? Or no, it was Anime. It was LA Anime. It was an LA Anime thing that I went to. Jeez. Anyway, his name is Taz. So we did a video. We filmed for about 2 hours, but I'm critical. I usually don't even go back and watch my stuff, but I feel that that we have to go and maybe reshoot some of the stuff. So it's gonna probably be another maybe another couple of weeks before I release the episode, because there's like some ideas that I have, and I guess I'm starting to realize now that begrudgingly I'm gonna have to start taking up the role of director. I don't really like directing. I'm a little, I guess, shy. Sometimes my confidence is like, I deal with anxiety sometimes, and sometimes you have to rise to the occasion when you have all these things, because when you're trying to do stuff, sometimes, like when I'm filming stuff, I'm definitely more open and I'm more sociable. I'm in my element, and I realize I gotta be more I guess more hands-on, because when you're doing stuff, they say that in life sometimes, well, they say when you want something done, you gotta, if you want it done right, you gotta do it yourself. And this is no disrespect to anyone, but I realized that all the years I've been working with people on my stuff and letting people film my stuff, and I learned some things, and I guess I feel that I've gotten to the point now where I need to start, just get more confident in myself and my knowledge, and just start learning how to do a lot of the stuff myself. And also even editing. Editing can be tricky, but a lot of the technological advances that we have made, it makes a lot of this stuff easier to do. Excuse me. In a lot of cases, you may even be able to say you get the programs, take you by the hand and just kind of help you. So it's a lot easier, a lot easier than it was maybe like 10 years ago trying to do all this stuff. So I haven't even eaten anything today. I ate like a little fruit cocktail. I really didn't have any appetite yesterday. I'm trying to think. I ate a little bit of. I think I ate a little bit of soup in the morning when I got off of work. I think I had some broccoli cheddar soup in the morning, and I think by like 12 o'clock, I knew I wasn't going to be able to go to work because I'd been feeling like under the weather a little bit for the last few days, and I even mentioned at work that I probably wouldn't go into work on Monday, but I did anyway. So I have Thursday and Fridays off, so I'm just gonna chill and stay home and just try to relax. I did go to the grocery store yesterday. I bought a bunch of juices and I bought some water, and I got enough food in the fridge, so I don't have to worry about anything. I ordered out. I ordered some El Pollo Loco. I ordered one of their chicken bowls that has like rice and rice, beans. It says like guacamole, and it's got like some cream cheese in it. And I felt like the chicken and the rice was a little dry. I don't know if it was just because it was probably so close to closing sometimes. I think I ordered it like around 8 o'clock at night. So sometimes when you order stuff later, as opposed to ordering like during the day when stuff is more fresh. But I probably should eat some soups. I have some soups in the refrigerator. I think I have minestrone, and I don't know what other ones I got. Because usually when I go to Vons, I'll buy like 3. They have like different kinds of soups. So I'll buy like 3. I don't really eat a lot, so I eat like half one day and then the other half the next day. But they used to be like $5.99. Now these things are like $7.99. But they're big plastic. Ralph's has these really big soups. But Vons has a better variety. So yeah, I've got 3 of those. I've got some TV dinners in the refrigerator, in the freezer. And I got enough coffee, and I bought a bunch of fruit juices. I got water. I have cough drops. I have this to get me through to the next couple of days. And I'm going to call my doctor and see if I can reschedule my appointment for maybe Tuesday. I cannot believe that it's already August. Just seemed like it flew by. It's just really amazing how time is just like speeding up, man. I don't know if somebody pressed the fast forward button, but I'm gonna try to use the time I have off to be productive and maybe finish a game. I've been playing this game called The Pathless and Sword of the Sea. Those are really, really cool. Like if you like some real cool, kind of relaxing action games. I think I'm near the end of Stellar Blade, but I'm fighting this really difficult boss right now, and I'm just having a hard time. It's like, I think this was like right after I finished fighting a boss, this fight came, and I was like, oh God, you think you can relax? No. So yeah, but the Silent Hill game is coming out. There's another game coming out, something Souls. My God, and there's so many games coming out, man. I can't even keep track of them all. Double Dragon game coming out. So yeah, I'm gonna probably just have to put myself on a restriction. There's only 2 games really 2 games I'm really looking forward to. There's a Marvel fighting game that's coming out next year, it's a Sony game, and then there's that Cosmic Justice game coming out, and Dusk Bloods is coming out. That's a Switch 2 exclusive about vampires. But everything else that I want, I pre-ordered. I'm not gonna pre-order no more games, man, because like I said, these games are just too damn expensive, and I feel like I've gotten to the point now where I need to just focus on the games that I have in my backlog and just clear it out. And I know it's gonna be easier said than done. So pray for me. Pray for me that I get better too.